Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lewis C. Martin Stadium here in Shaler area, Pennsylvania, where tonight the Shaler area Titans host the Hempfield Spartans. Hi, everybody. I'm John Irwin alongside Joey Miller for tonight's SATV coverage of tonight's game. And Joey, what a game we have for ourselves tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. The WTAE is here, Trib is here, and the Steelers Showcase is here. But Joey, we need to talk, before we talk about this game, we need to talk about last game where Shaler went to Plum. What a victory that was for the Titans.
Yeah, it was a great victory. They won 47-14. Luke Signetti had 5 touchdowns, which was awesome, and their defense really stepped up that game, which was huge for them.
Absolutely. We thought that was going to be a way closer game, in our opinions, in the pregame, but they shut Eric Moore down. Nick Odom did not have a game like we thought he would, and their quarterback, Sean Franzi, was flustered all over the place. Now, the Titans need to continue that tonight. So what do they need to do tonight against what I think would be a huge upset win over the Hempfield Spartans?
Their defensive guys need to step up again like they did against Plum, and then their offense needs to capitalize on those mistakes.
Absolutely, and on the Hempfield side of the ball, I think it's going to be a huge, huge win for them. They're trying to go 4-0. First time since 1971, 50 years. The last time they played Shaler, they lost to guys like Ryan Mincher and NFL tight end J.P. Holtz. Those are big names in Shaler's history in football. But tonight, they're trying to go 4-0 and stop Shaler's win streak. Now, Joey, who are your key players for tonight for Shaler?
I think Joey DiSabato and Keegan Spatanka need to have that good wide receiver quarterback connection, and then their defensive players like Joe Rospoli and Carson Pierce need to have that great stoppage.
Yeah, exactly. Those guys last week stepped up huge, but don't forget names like Caden Orga, Augie Tortorella. Everybody stepped up last week for the Titans. They need to do again, but for the Hempfield Spartans, I think they need to keep it rolling with Geno Caesar, Jake Phillips, and Ian Tufts. Those are guys who have been making the Whippeals scared so far. They're scoring 49 points a game, only 5 against. Their offensive line is, I think, averaging around 300 pounds and 6'2". They are absolutely monstrous on the offensive side, and their defense obviously not letting anybody score. But what is your score prediction for tonight, Joey?
I think it's going to be 28-20 Shaler in the favor.
I like that score. I'm going to go a little bit high scoring and a little bit closer. I'm going to go 35-31 in Shaler favor. But if you do want to see how the score does turn out, join us up in the booth for coverage of tonight's game. And welcome back up into the booth for tonight's coverage of tonight's game. The Spartans just took the field, but as the Titans line up, we are ready to go here in about 3 minutes and a half. Back up in the booth are John Irwin and Joey Miller here for coverage of tonight's game. And Joey, what a game we have for ourselves tonight. Said it earlier in the pregame.
Yeah, what a game. It's a beautiful night, too, for football, high 70s.
Absolutely, and here come the Shaler area Fighting Titans. Luke Signetti taking the lead, and we have ourselves a game almost underway, ladies and gentlemen. And Joey, real quick, let's talk about what we said in pregame. What do the Titans need to do to upset in what I think is, my opinion, a very tough opponent in the Whippeal 5A?
I think they need to step up on defense again like they did with JoJo Rospoli and Carson Pierce, rushing their run game and their pass game, not giving them any time.
Absolutely, and like you said, they have a lot of guys back there, one being Jake Phillips, the 6'3", 190 senior. I should mention both teams last year, I believe, went 2-8, looking for bounce-back years, and they're trying to make a real statement. We talked about how they both need to step up in this game, but for Shaler, I think it's more of they need to test themselves. This is to see, are they really now one of the big powerhouses in 5A? And for Hempfield, they're seeing this as a probable another run of the game, or at least a run-of-the-mill game.
Yeah, this is definitely both of the teams' most toughest game so far this year.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And Hempfield played Greensburg, Salem, Connellsville, Latrobe, averaging 49 points. Shaler plays Butler. They played Butler, Hampton, and Plum, averaging, I believe, around what I think is 30 to 35. But for the Titans, going out to for the coin flip, Steely's there. The Steelers are in Lewis C. Martin Stadium. You have James Sanders, Luke Signetti, Augie Tortorella, and Keegan Stratanka. And on the other side of the ball for the Spartans, you have, if I can see the numbers, you've got Logan Eisenman, Tyson Gregory for 77, ladies and gentlemen, Caden Thicko, and the big guy who we actually talked about behind the scenes earlier, Will Nelson, the 6', 250 senior O-lineman. And we should bring that up. This O-line of Hempfield is monstrous.
Yeah, they're very, very big. It's going to be tough for their defense.
Absolutely. They average around, I think, what is 6 to 6'2" and 250 plus. So we'll see here who takes it. So Hempfield, I believe, chooses to receive. So the Titans will defer. So the Titans need to start early on defense, like we said. Big names like Carson Pierce, Joe Rispoli, but even the guys who may not receive a lot of credit and don't get a lot of calls, guys like Jordan Winters, he made a big name for himself last game, had a good bunch of wrap-up tackles, saved a lot of yards against Eric Moore. You had a lot of guys back there playing the game like they were supposed to. And I think for Hempfield, who do you look for more? Do you look for Ian Tufts-Moore tonight and say, hey, he's 6'3", and the cornerbacks of Shaler are Caden Orga and Joe DiSabato. DiSabato is 5'10", and Orga is 5'9". I mean, do you say to yourself, do we stay with our big wide receiver, or do we give it to Geno Caesar, who's only 5'10", 200, but he's having himself a year right now?
Yeah, you definitely see them mixing it up. I think either's going to work.
Oh, yeah. And in that case, I guess it makes sense. You don't really want to go one option too heavy.
But I feel like if their run game's working, they should keep going with it and not.
Yeah, he is having a year for himself right now. Him and Luke Signetti actually having very similar year. Caesar right now, I believe, is around, let me see if I have the right stats here, 385 yards on 55 attempts, 7 yards a carry, and 11 touchdowns. Signetti on 68 attempts, 567 yards, 8.3 yards a carry, and 11 touchdowns. So very similar. Other than the yardage, but I think last week's game against Plum with 280 yards, I think Luke Signetti kind of pulled away with that one. But both teams, they're actually pretty similar here. But Riley Douglas looking to put Hempfield in some pretty bad starting position, but the Hempfield Spartans, they're looking to make a big statement here on the opening kickoff. Tyson Gregory back there. And he'll take it at his own. Oh, he won't take it at his own 5. That's Geno Caesar. He's looking for the left sideline and wrapped up at around the 23-yard line. So a good wrap-up tackle. Should have been Jordan Winters on the tackle there. I believe it was. So the Spartans started their own 25, so not bad field position for the Spartans and for the Shaler Titans on defense. Joey, who do you expect to step up here right now?
I think you see the same guys as last week with Carson Pierce and Joe Rispoli. And then I think Caden Organ and Joey DiSabato are both pretty good at getting interceptions as well.
Absolutely. I think they're going to try and have a ball hawk night tonight. So let's see how they line up. Trips to the right. Tufts and Katanka on the far right. Takes the snap, hands it off to Caesar, looking for the right. It's actually not Caesar, that's Mitchell Bitar. Gets all the way around to the 26. Or excuse me, Elijah Binakonski, the ball carrier. That was Binakonski, excuse me. Now Phillips takes a snap. They hand it back to him. Looking up the gap, has something. Oh, ball popped out for a second. Shaler says they have it. It looked like a close call. They do have it.
Oh my God.
Shaler instantly gets the ball. So what we just talked about, how Shaler needed to make an instant stop, they make it happen in 2 plays. So Elijah Binakonski getting the call twice in a row. We thought he had about 2 yards to get for the first down, fumbles the ball, and Shaler takes over at the 32-yard line. Goodness me, Joey.
Already?
This Titan defense started off hot.
We saw last week 3 fumbles in a row.
Absolutely, we did. And with another interception on Franzi. So now they go plans on the inside. Chmatanka takes the snap, looking right, has London across. Gets all the way to the right hash at around the 29-yard line. So gain of about 4. And Joey, in under 40 seconds here, the Titans already with a turnover. And the Spartans now looking for a response, and just look at that defensive line. I mean, those guys are huge back there. Anthony Villano, everybody's back there for the Spartans. Chmatanka hands off to Signetti, but he's instantly wrapped up by a bunch of Spartans. First one in there, though, Brennan Knight. And I think that's going to be their big name tonight on defense for the Spartans, is stopping Luke Signetti.
Yeah, no, that was he got the ball and he was already touched by a Hempfield.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So this O-line will have to make a test of themselves tonight. Last week they did fairly well. So now a 3rd and 11. The Titans looking to convert and keep the drive alive early. DiSabato on the inside. Smetanka takes the snap high, looks left, looks right, inside, caught by, dropped by Plans, almost had it, would have been short of the first, would have only got around 5 to 6 yards. So that'll bring up a 4th and 11. Believe it was Katonka on the coverage. So let's see, on a 4th and 11, they are going to go for it. And I guess it's smart, Riley Douglas. It'd be a tough kick. It'd be a very long kick for him. So I think in this instance, it's Hempfield either gets the ball at this markage here or a little bit farther. So Smetanka takes the snap, looks left, looking for time, looking for space, has DiSabato high, takes a shot by a Spartan, but will be incomplete and a turnover on downs. It would have been still short of the first, but the Spartans receive. So now Joey, I assume that Mike Brown of the Spartans, the head coach, is a little bit upset probably with how his team fumbled right away. I would assume he's going to want more clean play.
Yeah, I think he's going to want more, but I think it was a great job by their defense getting that 4 and out.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the one thing we talked about was capitalizing on mistakes. I think Shaler really needed that there to go up early. So now with 10:13 left in the quarter, still only not even 2 minutes played. Phillips in the shotgun, 3 to the right. They move Caesar to the left. Now they go 5 men. Takes the snap, looks left, has short pass, and wrapped up at around what looks to be the 35-yard line, and that'll be Kieran Lippman on the catch.
That was a great job by Nathan Razzo, meeting him right as soon as he caught it.
Absolutely, and these Titans are going to be, in my opinion, what I think should be quick on tackles and closing the gap. So now they line up a lot on the left side of the line. They give it to Caesar, instantly wrapped up by a bunch of Titans. Joe Raspolian on that one. Yeah, and we'll be hearing his name, I believe, a lot coming up here. Ryan Barnhart also under the tackle. He had himself a game last week. I think he was actually in with Carson Pierce on a couple of those fumbles last week. Now they switch Razzo and DiSabato. Double left. And Mazza on the chase. Phillips has to scramble and thrown in the dirt by Tufts. Will not be a flag, and that'll be a 4 and out for the Spartans. So the Spartans not able to make anything happen, and that was one thing last week, Joey, that the D-line, the pressure on Sean Franzi was a little bit too much. Does it show tonight against Jake Phillips? So let's see. They go punt formation. Orga and DiSabato back there. They move 2 men. Takes it. It's good. Do they get the bounce? Orga calls fair catch, almost mishandles it, but he'll take it at the 35. So the Titans at the 35 will get another 1st and 10. So only 3 minutes played in this quarter, Joey, and both teams now are going to be on their 2nd chance to make something happen.
Yeah, both times are pretty quick drives for both offenses.
So now Shaler, do they look to slow it down? Let's see. Orga, DiSabato on the right, Signetti to the right of Smetanka. Early collapse. Signetti looking for something, will get absolutely nothing. First man on for the Spartans. Again, Katonka. He's in on that. Lippman again in on that. And this defense looks like they want to prevail very much. Again, you see that D-line looking to cause and wreak havoc on Shalers. Again, the big guy back there, Caden Fico, he's in on that one. These linebackers also stand so tall for the Shaler Titans, against the Shaler Titans, excuse me. So Smetanka takes it. And instantly sacked in the backfield by number 54, Brennan Knight of the Spartans. So Knight in.
Man, we were talking about how good Hempfield's offense is, but their defense is looking really good right now.
Their defense is looking as sharp as can be. You know, their offense hasn't had the greatest start, but their defense couldn't have started any better. So Shaler now forced with a 3rd and 19, not in great field position, and a punt would probably only go to around the 40 if not returned. DiSabato in on the inside. Smetanka takes a snap, looks left, just dumps it off to Signetti high, and he'll just fall. And it's going to be inside, so the clock will roll. so not able to make anything happen. The pocket collapsed way too early for Smetanka, and is that going to be a problem, Joey?
I think it might be. Their defensive line for Hempfield's looking really good.
Absolutely, they look great. So now Douglas back there. He's at his own 5, and last week, the first punt he had to take, he was looking in the sun, but he did fumble it, and he had to recover it. Not a bad snap, a little bit high, but he'll get it off. Does he get the spin? Tufts will take it at the 40, but hit immediately by Sanders. So now the Spartans get the ball at the 40. And Joey, what does the Shaler defense need to do now? Backed up in their own half. Not a lot of momentum on either side of the ball right now, and the Spartans looking to make a difference.
I mean, if you look at their last drive, they stopped them 4 plays. So, I mean, they're just trying to do that again.
And I think, yeah, that might be the plan on both sides of the defenses here, is try and go as many 4-outs as we can. So now let's see. 2 men already set for the Spartans. Tufts on the inside. Phillips in the back, in the shot, takes the snap, give it off to Caesar, looking up the gap, looking for something, but only will gain around 2, but a flag thrown. Might be a face mask, we'll have to see. So that's the first flag of the game. We're going to have holding on the Spartans. So that's not a great start to your offensive drive again. That'll move you back all the way to the 50. Oh, excuse me, even a little bit, only 1 more yard to the 49. So now the Spartans with a 1st and 20. Looking to make something happen. They go 4-man set, Caesar to the right, Phillips in the shotgun, nothing under center yet. Takes the snap, they fake it. Tufts looking down the right side, wide open. Is he there? He's got it. Does he step out? Pushed out around the 10. And Tufts instantly, and the Spartans go, wow, they are going quick, almost in a hurry up it looked like, but no. Tufts got past Jordan Winters, so his completion takes them all the way to the 10-yard line. So now Hempfield looking to put a score up on the Titans. Phillips takes it, hands it to Caesar, looking up the gap, nothing, and closed by a bunch of Titans. So right now, Caesar not having that big of a game so far.
Yeah, both teams' run games are not working right now. They need to switch it up.
Yeah, and switch it up. They did. The Hempfield Spartans, I mean, they just threw a 40 to 50-yard bomb to Ian Tufts on that reception. And again, that was the guy we thought. But now, let's see, Phillips, they handed it off to Villano. Villano looking for the edge. Wrapped up, though, at around the 5-yard line.
That was a great tackle by Caden. He's so big.
He is, and Caden Orga is, again, not the tallest player for the Shaler defense, but he is not afraid to stop anybody. It showed last week against Eric Moore, and it shows that time against Villano. So now 3rd and 5. 2 men to the right. Might be looking for Tufts. Shaler shows blitz. They fake the... And it's in, so they faked it to Caesar, and Phillips gets it off to Villano, and the Spartans go up 6 over the Titans. So a good drive by the Spartans will put them up, helped a lot by that Ian Tufts reception. So now the Spartans looking to go up 7 over the Titans. Josh Riley back there. See. Good snap. And it'll be through, so that'll put another one on the board for the Spartans. So that'll be with 6 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the first quarter. The Hempfield Spartans 7 and the Shaler Titans 0. So now, Joey, this is a very big drive in my opinion. With only 6 minutes gone in this first quarter, though, the Titans, I think, need to score here.
Yeah, for sure. They need to try to throw it since the run game's not there.
I think so, too, and I think the one thing that has to show is Keegan Smetanka's accuracy has to be there today.
Yeah, I think their offensive line also needs to step up, give them some more time.
Yeah, and they did struggle again. We did talk about how the first quarter didn't go to plan against the Mustangs, but that second quarter couldn't have gone any better, and obviously the third and the fourth continued. But yes, Smetanka's arm has to be there, and it has to start with the O-line, though, too. But it also starts with this kickoff to DiSabato and Orga. And again, Josh Riley, also a volleyball player. He plays 2 sports. So I think this is his first or second year of kicking. So we'll see how far this boot goes with the right hash. And the Spartans looking to bring the intensity back again on defense and make another 4 and out if they can pull it off. So Riley's boot, he'll just kick it out of bounds. So it didn't get farther than the 17-yard line. So the Titans will take over. And who are you looking for here, Joey? I mean, if you're John Tortorella, who do you say to yourself, man, we got to get this guy involved more. These first couple of drives haven't been great.
It's definitely Joey DiSabato with 19 receptions all year. So, I mean, he's definitely their go-to guy.
Oh, last year he was an absolute monster. We saw how big of a part he was. He's had a quieter year so far. I mean, 19 receptions, 170 yards. You know, not a bad year by any means. But now they give it to Signetti, looking up the middle, looking up for something, but nothing again. These Spartans just don't give in and close the gaps immediately. Again, Benakonski on the tackle, Knighton on the tackle. Going to hear a lot of those names tonight. So the Titans, Brandon London now on the far inside on the sideline. Schmatenka in the shot. Spartans blitz, they give it off to DiSabato immediately, looking for a block, won't get it. Brought down by a couple of Spartans. Gets all the way to the 40 though, so it should be a 3rd and 5 for the Titans, and they got to convert here. Last week, you know, they had a great game, but I think they also still struggled last week at their third down conversions,
Yeah, they definitely they need to get those consistent gains of like 5 yards, and then they get the first.
And that was one thing you brought up was, you know, they weren't going for big plays that much, but the consistency was there the whole game. So now same formation. They move DiSabato in motion. They blitz. Schmatenka looking right, has to get it off, and batted away by Tufts looking for Orga. Great coverage there by Tufts. It's now a 4th and 5, backed up again at your own 40. And they will send out the punt team. So Shaler not able to make anything happen right now. The running game is completely blocked, and the passing game has not looked, in my opinion, not that great.
Yeah, no, I think they just need to go back to the pass game, and they need to give Keegan more time.
They do. Now Douglas boots. It'll be short, but caught by Tufts. So fair catch at the Hempfield 30, looks like the 39-yard line. So the Spartans taking over, and one thing that was surprising was Ian Tufts was guarded by Jordan Winters, and we said earlier in pregame we would have expected Caden Orga or Joe DiSabato to be on him, more or less.
Yeah, I know Jordan Winters got beat on that, but he's a tough kid. I can definitely see him coming back strong.
Absolutely, and Jordan Winters, by the way, he also is 6 foot 176, so he is one of the taller cornerbacks on this team, and he'll line up with Tufts again. So let's see how they go. So Caesar to the right, Phillips takes the snap, they give it off. No, it's Phillips up the middle, keeps it himself at the 40, the 50, and brought down by Signetti at around the 44-yard line. So Phillips, the smart quarterback keep. And Joey, the Spartans are going to a really quick offense here. They are taking no time to get the next play off. They're looking to score. So Phillips takes the snap. Now they give it to Caesar up the right. He'll get all the way to the 40. 39 maybe.
I think Hempfield's speed with each play is coming because Shaler's playing both sides. They're trying to wear them out.
They are absolutely going to wear these Titans out if they keep playing like this. Again, quick hurry up. They take the snap, look off to the right, high. Can they close the gap? Actually, oh my goodness, gets past Signetti, past Orga. That's all the way to the end zone for Daniel Katonka, and the Hempfield Spartans put another 6 on the board. So you just said it, Joey. The quick offense of the Spartans is proving to be too much for the Titans right now. And where is the Titans defense? They had such a good game last week against Plum, and this week right now against Hempfield in the first 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, having a tough time. So Katonka, you know, he's had a good year for himself too. He's been, I guess you could say, second man under Tufts, but hasn't been quiet at all. So he'll put his name on the score sheet, and Riley looking to go 2 for 2, and he will. So that'll put the Spartans now up 2 scores over the Titans, 14-0. So not a great start whatsoever for the Shaler area Titans. And I did say last drive that they needed to score, but I think this is the drive that they need to score.
Yeah, definitely they need to score, or if they don't score here, their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, they absolutely need to get a stop. And they did so well in their first drives, but I think Mike Brown really realized, hey, we may not need to run the ball as much. We have these tall and fast wide receivers, and Shaler's, putting up 5'10" cornerbacks on our guys. Why don't we just throw it up to Tufts? He can probably catch it over them, is his guess.
Yeah, Shaler needs to adjust to the throwing game now.
They absolutely do, and Jim Ryan's going to have a long time to think about that right now with his guys on offense. And the Spartans, again, I just want to go back to how short, they go so quick on offense. It's actually like you would be surprised that they're going so quick. You would think, oh, take up time. I think they're trying to run the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's to wear out the Titans because if you see, their lines run off the field and the new line comes in.
Absolutely. So Riley puts the squib in. Oh, goodness. Does it get recovered by the Spartans? Takes a shot. Oh, my goodness. And do they recover? They do. And a Titan is down. The Spartans recover on the squib. And, man, they're trying to run up the scoreboard heavy. I think it was Rispoli who takes the shot. He looked for the recovery and just got blasted across. And the Spartans, we just said, they want to run it up, and they want to do just exactly that. They take over now at the Shaler 44. So Shaler needing an answer, needing something. Tufts and Katanka on the right. Caesar to the right of Phillips. Phillips looking, and brought down by a Titan. And that was Joe Rispoli, so he'll take the hit, but he will get a sack now against the Spartans. Getting in there, tripped up Phillips. He was looking for the right. I assumed it would have been to Katanka. Looked a little bit more open. And that's what I think Shaler needs to do, is put the pressure on Jake Phillips.
Yeah, definitely. They need to get in there. They can't let up those big pass plays anymore.
Yeah, you can't give them time. So now nope, Phillips keeps it up the middle again. Gets to the 39, 40-yard line. So Jake Phillips really smart right now on his quarterback reads, getting all the way to the 40-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 7. They convert here, and the Spartans still with a lot of momentum. Again, hurry up here. Tyson Gregory now in on the right. Phillips takes the snap. They give it to Caesar up the middle, looking for something, but he'll get stopped after maybe a gain of 1. So a 4th and probably 6 right there. Yep, so 4th and 6. And the Spartans, you got nothing to lose really if you go for it. Up 2 scores, and the Titans would get the ball probably at around the 40. And the Titans, they show blitz, didn't jump across. Now what does Brown say to his team on offense? Looking for something different. So Phillips gets it. They move Villano over. Titans shift. Phillips looking left, steps up, across, and caught by Tufts at the 30-yard line. So great look by Phillips to find Tufts, and his vision right now is absolutely impeccable.
Yeah, the Hempfield's confidence right now is very good with that onside kick and then going for it on 4th down. They're trying to put it to the Titans.
They right now are saying, hey, this should not even be the game of the week. This shouldn't even be in contention, and Shaler will take their first time out with 2:46 and down 2 scores. But like I was saying, I think Hempfield, they have something to prove. They've put up 49 points, and I think there was a lot of questions of, you've played a 4A, a 3A, and a 4A team in your first 3 weeks. You've won all 49 points over, but, and then, you look at the headline, Luke Signetti, player of the week in the Whippeal, the Titans, game to watch. And I think Hempfield has an argument to say, hey, listen, we're the real deal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're going to try to run up the scoreboard for sure with this steady offense.
Yeah, and that's probably what they planned on doing the entire week when they saw this game. They probably said to themselves, hey, listen, we are going to run the scoreboard up and say, listen, we are the team that you should be worried about when you played us. Going 2-8 last year, looking to go 4-1 for the first time since 1971. So Tufts and Gregory on the right. Villano and Littman on the left. They move Caesar. Razzo now moves over. Maybe opening up on the left. Nope, they go quick to Caesar, and he'll get wrapped up Razzo not able to make it, but London and DiSabato in on the tackle. And they go quick again. Phillips gives it to Caesar, wrapped up immediately by a couple of Titans. Should have been Pierce, and it was Pierce on it.
That was a great job by Carson. It didn't even look like Shaler's defense was fully set up, and he still got that stop.
No, a lot of times on these quick drives, I mean, Joe DiSabato barely got over to his man on coverage on the left side. So same formation. Shaler's, oh, Phillips keeps, looks across for Gregory, won't get anything. So good coverage there by Orga. Was in front for him, but Orga with the last second, I would say push. It wasn't really any more of a push than it was trying to go for it.
Yeah, no, he was just having for it.
Yeah. So now 4th and 3, looking to convert or maybe even score. Phillips takes the snap. They give it to, no, they don't. They look across to Villano. He's got the first down. Does he get the sideline? And man, does he take a shot to the legs. He flips over, but he'll get the first. And the Spartans looking to go up. Huge right now over the Titans. And Phillips with the keep, has the gap, looking for something, cuts back inside. He'll gain around 6 on the play. And man, the options of Hempfield are staggering.
Yeah.
They can go anywhere right now. So now Shaler looking for something. They've been real quiet. Again, Phillips keeps looking up the left side, looking for a gap. Does he get the first? And I think they'll give it to him. And they will. So it'll be a 1st and 5 at the 5. They move Tufts out. Blahovic in. Shaler moving people around. Villano on the left side of the line. Phillips gives it to Caesar, looking for something. Does he stay on his feet, and can he push? Not more than about 2 to 3 yards. So Caesar, he's going to try and get his name now called. Again, Katonka and Tufts have been the big stars for the Spartans.
I definitely see them passing to one of their really tall wide receivers.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to try and do as Tufts moves far out wide. They move Villano. And let's see. I think we're going to have a timeout by Hempfield. So it looked like they were going to maybe go to the right there, and they saw that Shaler shifted over to close it. So they'll call a timeout. And look at the way, I wouldn't even say the mannerism. Look at the way that Hempfield ran over to their coaching staff to get into the huddle, and Shaler just got into their huddle right now.
Yeah, the hustle is definitely really good for Hempfield.
This team might possibly have 4 lungs right now.
Yeah.
If they can keep playing like this is going to be a phenomenal game for the Spartans. For the Titans, you got to make something happen. I mean, you can't go down 3 scores, when you have game of the week at your own place and say to yourselves and get content with it. You got to make something happen and change something. So the Spartans obviously trying to go up another score. 28 seconds left on the clock. So Phillips, they move Blahovic. Phillips looking for the right. Does he have it? He does, and he's in for the touchdown. So another Spartan touchdown taken in by Jake Phillips of the Spartans. And again, he has been so smart on his reads tonight that he might as well get himself one. And Josh Riley now again looking up to go for 3 for 3 on the night on PATs. And Riley puts it through again, so he'll go 3 for 3 on the night, and that'll put the Spartans up 3 touchdowns over the Titans, 21-0 with 24 seconds. And Joey, we did not think this game would be happening, or where this game's at right now, not at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Shaler needs to do 2 things on defense. They need to stop the pass, or they need to stop giving up big plays, and they need to stop that pass option.
Yeah, and, you know, the Titans, you got to butt heads. I say it a lot, but this is like one of those times where you really got to look at each other in the eye and say, what are we doing?
Yeah, they need to come together as a team and get a stop here.
Yeah, or excuse me, they should go down, score, and then get a stop.
Mm-hmm.
They should, and I think that should be the plan at least. But is Hempfield going to go for the onside? The last time we saw a team, I guess, try and run up on Shaler with the points was, I believe, Penn Trafford last year. I believe it was Penn Trafford, but we'll see. Does Hempfield have another squib kind of, it was more of squib onside. It was kind of high. It was all in between. Yeah, it caught everybody off guard. So what does Riley do? It was a great kick by him. Does he do it again? No, they will boot it. So that'll go to Orga at the 10, looking for something. Do the gaps open up? And looking for something. Has the sideline. Has to be my man. Gets to the 30. Cuts back inside. Cuts across again. Looking for something. Has the sideline, but dragged down around the 41. So Caden Orga, he's had a quiet night so far, but that'll help the Titans. That'll help himself get some confidence going into this offensive drive. And Joey, we talked about that. That is one thing that the Shaler Titans need is great and good spots on their kickoff returns.
Yeah, they definitely gained them some energy too on the sidelines. They were all cheering for them.
Absolutely, and that's where it starts. It's cheering for each other. It's not like you said, it's a team sport. You got to man together. So now Shpatanka, 4-man set, takes the snap, pocket, stays up. He has time, looking to the right. Oh man, does it close? Villano on the chase, and does it get picked? Oh, it was actually caught by DiSabato. It looked like it was in between around 3 Spartans and almost picked off.
That was a great job by Shaler's offensive line. They gave him a ton of time.
He
there.
did have a ton of time, just nobody was able to get open, and so these Hempfield cornerbacks and safeties are holding a lot better than we would thought they would. So the Titans, a 2nd and 7, 4 seconds left in the quarter. You can't make any mistakes here, and you got to put a score up. Take the snap, look to London. Gets a block from DiSabato and gets dragged down at around the 48-yard line, I'd say. Tackle there by number 4, Binakoski. And that'll end the first quarter of play here at Louis C. Marduk Stadium with the Hempfield Spartans leading the Shaler Titans 21-0.
We are the 2022 Shaler Area Cross Country Team, and you're watching SATV.
You get a big play right here. You got to get some momentum back.
Yeah, and the one thing is, in no particulation do I think these Titans are, not playing at their hardest, because Joe DiSabato, that block he just shed, I mean, that was a beautiful block for Brandon London. So I don't think at any point right now these Titans really giving up. I think they just have to find what gear they need to play in. And that was one guy I thought tonight, Orga, he would have a great game, but he's been real quiet so far. And I think the one thing is, man, they just can't get any space.
Yeah, no, Hempfield's guys are just huge.
They are just, you can't get past them. So now Shpatanka again, gives it to Signetti up the middle, has a gap, has more, and gets all the way to the 37-yard line. So great take by Signetti, and hopefully that kick starts him up now. He's been quiet all game, but for the WPIAL Player of the Week, you want to see more out of him if you're a Titan fan and a Titan player. Shpatanka takes it, looking right, quick to TJ Bells, and it'll go for the first down. So they'll move the chain. So Shaler now getting a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, you're getting those steady gains, which is good.
It's not anything crazy yet. Hempfield, again, could make a stop here, could force a mistake and a turnover. Could go either way. So Shpatanka, shotgun snap, takes it high, gives it to Signetti, and wrapped up immediately by a couple of Spartans. I think Villano in first, though, on that tackle.
I don't really like that play there. They had Brendan London on the outside with a one-on-one coverage with number 7, which looks like he has a height difference.
Yeah, Tyson Gregory is only 5'10". London, I believe, should be around 6'1".
He's 6'2", at least.
I think so. So, that's a matchup you would think you look for, but it all depends on how the O-line, too. If your O-line can't hold, you can't really get that type of playoff. But again, they'll go to that same thing like you said. Do they look for London now? They move Orga. We're going to have a flag. And we're going to move them back. So a false start will move the Titans back, and when you just had a lot of momentum and you had a 2nd down and 10, you go to a 2nd and 15. So now Tyson will line up, or excuse me, Gregory will line up on DiSabato, London, and different coverage. Move Orga. Looking across for Orga, and won't get, I don't think, anything. Maybe a loss. He had to get it off, though. He's getting chased by a couple of guys almost.
Yeah, definitely.
So now Joey, with a 3rd and 16, you just can't let the Spartans take over here.
Yeah, they definitely need it. But I mean, we're talking about those consistent games, but now they need a big play.
It needs to happen, if you're the Titans. And for the Spartans, you're saying, well, I mean, we're up 3 scores, and our defense is playing immaculate right now. This drive hasn't been what it was the last couple of drives, but in no way are they going to score if you're a Spartan. So they move Orga again. Shpatanka looks right. Looks across, has Bells, he has him, does he keep it? And he does. So a first down to TJ Bells, all the way to around the to the 13-yard line, almost at 17.
Now that's a big play that he needed.
Absolutely, and a guy like TJ Bells, he hasn't had his name called too much this year on the wide receiver aspect, but he had that huge recovery against Hampton, the onside kick. That saved the game, and now he's making a name for himself on the wide receiver core, and that'll be a 1st and 10 of the 13. So Shaler, they give it to Signetti. Looking for, well, won't get anything. I was going to say looking for something, but obviously not finding anything.
Yeah, I think if he doesn't get that quick burst of energy and run right through that line, he's not getting anywhere. Yeah,
he has such good patience trying to find his gaps. When they don't open up, he just can't find that acceleration he needs. So from the 15, a 2nd and 12 for the Titans. Looking to put up a score and stay within reach of the Spartans. Move Orga again in motion. Shpatanka takes the snap, looks right, looks across, batted down by Gregory. Was looking for plans, but great defense by Gregory to get his hand in there and not have a pass interference. So he's holding his own now against Peyton Plans. So 3rd and 12, Joey, what are you looking for here? You mean, do you go run? I mean, I assume you would go pass.
Yeah, you definitely go pass here. You need that big play yet again.
You need something here. Even if you go to a 4th and maybe 6, you get half the yards here, you can at least maybe punch it in. From the 15, Shpatanka takes the snap. Right on target. Pocket collapses, looking deep. Has a man. Oh my goodness, Caden Orga off the fingertips. Just out of reach. Would have been a touchdown for Orga. It was a great job by Shpatanka to get it off to Orga. Now the Titans, a 4th and 12 from their 15. They got to look for something. That would have been the play to keep them in it. It was a great getaway route by Orga. So now they go trips to the right. Single man set on the left. Shpatanka takes it, does the pocket hold. Doesn't get a block by Signetti, he has to scramble. Does he have the first? Looking for something, looks across deep for London and just throws it away.
Oh, no. He caught.
Did he catch? No, I think it was DiSabato diving for it. And on the run, Shpatanka couldn't get it to London or DiSabato. Diving effort, but it won't go for anything. So now a turnover at the 15 for the Spartans. So now this is, in my opinion, make or break.
Yeah, they definitely need to stop here.
If the Titans hold, I think this is where they can turn things around. But if they don't and the Spartans now go down and score, I think it's out of reach. And it's not what you want here. And DiSabato looks like might have taken a shot or maybe fell a little bit too hard. It looks winded out there.
I mean, well, if you think about it, Hempfield's going pretty quick. He
probably is winded regardless, but it almost looked like he was holding his ribs. So now Tufts on the inside, guarded by Orga. Phillips in the shotgun. Phillips takes the snap. They give it off to Caesar, looking for the edge, but brought down by, oh man, still got a lot more yards there. Looked like he only would have had around a gain of 3, but not brought down immediately. So 2nd and 4 situation. And Hempfield again goes hurry up. And Caesar is wrapped up immediately. In on the tackle, Joe Rispoli. James Sanders, I think, also on the close. So Signetti now comes in. He subs out Di Sabato. So now Caesar, he'll go out to the right as a wide receiver. Five wide receivers, set. Phillips looks right. Quick, gives it off to Caesar. Does he get the first? He will. And the Spartans are just making everything happen. They're getting everything they want on offense, Joey.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting those. They're just keeping it in first downs, and then they'll get the big play.
And I think that's what they're waiting for. That's actually a good point. Is the only big play they've had was that Ian Tufts reception. So maybe they're looking for another one here. Phillips takes it, looks left. He's going to look deep across to, oh my goodness, to Ian Tufts. Pushes down Orga, but wrapped up, and Ian Tufts makes an impressive catch. I thought Signetti would come across, almost looked like he maybe read it wrong, and I thought it was going to Littman, but Tufts now with his next big catch. We just said it.
Yeah.
So now Phillips left again, looking for Tufts. There's going to be a flag. Oh my goodness, and Villano over the head of Razzo. Does he stay in? He does. And he dives. No. I think they're going to say he stepped out, but there was a flag.
I think he's coming back.
And I think it will be coming back. Man, what an impressive play that was by Villano to stay on his feet. And that's, again, the height difference by him. He is 6'3", 230.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable catch. I mean, you don't know how hard it is to catch it through somebody else's hand.
Oh, my God. Joey, trust me, I let these guys usually do the talking and all this, everything out there. They keep it on the field. So now we do move it back. So 1st and 22 for the Spartans. Almost had a touchdown there. They look for another big one. Phillips looks right, has all the time. Actually, pocket closes, looks across deep, has a man. Oh my goodness, what a catch. What a haul by Daniel Katonka. Luke Signetti on the coverage. Katonka moves him out of the way, cuts back inside, and a great reception by Daniel Katonka. And not what you wanted if you were the Titans. Signetti was right there on the coverage. Could have pulled away with it, but Katonka just cuts back inside, and that'll move the Spartans to the 17. And Tufts guarded by Orga. Looking right, Phillips across, has a man, dives, won't get anything. So Phillips wasn't able to get it there. Tried to lead it a little bit too much, though. Was going for Phillips. Or excuse me, was going for Littman. So now taking their time. They do take their time when they need to, Joy. I will say that.
Yeah, I will say that they're taking their time in the red zone.
And we are going to, yep, and Joe Rispoli jumped too quick, went in on the blitz. But go back to what you were saying. Sorry, Joey, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, I was just saying that they slow it down in the red zone, but whenever they're out in the middle of the field and they have a ton of room to work with, they speed it up.
So now trips left. Phillips takes this, almost fumbles it, keeps it. Does he get the outside? Stays on his feet. What a stay. Phillips still on his feet, cuts back. Is he on his feet still? Oh my goodness, what a run. Shake Phillips, what a touchdown. I am at a loss. How did he stay on his feet? Joey, Jake Phillips, show off the legs there, kid. Gets in for his second rushing touchdown.
I mean, that was a turn of events. It looked like he was going to fumble it. And
he looked like a fumble originally, almost got wrapped up, and somehow stayed on his feet, got the blocks. And now Josh Riley looking to go 4 for 4. So Riley puts it through, and that will be good. So now the Spartans up 4 scores, 28-0 over the Titans. And Joey, I can guarantee you right now, a lot of Shaler area fans, parents, students, and players alike are in shock.
Yeah, definitely. I thought this was going to be like a semi-close game, but the Spartans are pulling away.
Yeah, and right now, we always say, you go into the minds of the Titans, their coaches, but I can't say right now that I would know what Jim Ryan and John Tortorella and the rest of the Shaler coaching staff are thinking of what to do. I can't say I would know. I
think it definitely starts with stops. They got to stop their offense.
Yeah, I think it does, and I think on both sides of the ball, I think the offense, they need to. I mean, it looked good last drive. They did look pretty good, but I think it needs to start with, I don't know. It's not like stops on just the defense, but the offense also needs to.
They need
get
to
conversions. They need to convert and score, and it's not happening now. And the defense has had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3 times they didn't convert on 4th.
Yeah, they are beat up right now. And now with the Spartans up 4, go for another onside. If they did, that would be a crazy call by Mike Brown. So he will boot it. And it'll fall and go out of, it'll just stay in but roll out at the 10. Very close to almost a pin, like right on the right side of the sideline there at the 10 by Riley, but it doesn't stay and it'll roll.
Yeah, that was definitely a little nerve-wracking there for Joe.
I think Joe DiSabato kind of went, oh, it's out, and it stayed for a second. He ran up on it trying to almost keep it out. But the Titans at their own 35 need to make something happen. You're down 4. Now let's see. Look at this formation. They move Signetti. Does he get the block? Has something. Does he get the sideline? He has the speed at the 40. And he gets, I think, around 2 yards short of the first down. And that's exactly what Luke Signetti does best. His acceleration through the gaps and off the edge of the blocks are absolutely outstanding.
I mean, they take Caden Orga and Joe DiSabato out to put more blockers in, I guess.
Yeah, and just, you were right. They are not in right now. Brendan London, yep, so they're going to move Rispoli. They actually give it to him, looking for something on the edge. Stays on his feet. Does he get the first? He should. So now Joel Rispoli with the rush, and maybe a change of pace now for the Titans, saying to themselves, hey, the receiving isn't that great. It's not consistent. Let's just run this thing and see what we can make out of it.
I think they're going with it again.
And I mean, 2 out of 2 right now, first down. So maybe they're trying to change something up. Maybe they see something. Not too sure. Rispoli again in motion. No, they give it to Tortorella, but he's wrapped up, but a flag on the field. Wrapped up at the 40. So now Orga and DiSabato and Bell's back in. Honestly, Joe, it could have just been a breather maybe. If you think about it, those guys are tired playing both sides of the ball. You've been on defense for, I'd probably say maybe almost 20 minutes now. You haven't had much time.
I mean, yeah, I think it could have been a breather, but I mean, it kind of worked.
It did. I think you get the first down, you move at least a good bit, and they get the rest for a little bit and say to themselves, all right, Caden, Joey, they say to each other, hey, let's go out there and make something happen. But now, with that penalty, that'll be a 1st and 23, so that first down almost kind of erased. Now 4-man set, they move Orga. Schwatenka has to scramble right, get chased down by Knight, looks for the legs, has it, and gets there. So he should have got back to around the 40. So smart take by Schwatenka to get there, use his legs and get past Knight, and I think we're going to have a Hempfield Spartan go down. And we are. So a gain of 10 by Schwatenka, but JP Guerra will go down.
Hi, we're the 2022-23 Shaler Area Varsity Cheerleaders, and you're watching SATV. Woo!
And welcome back. After that injury timeout, Guerra able to walk off on his own power. So now the Shaler Titans, a 2nd and 13 at the 42-yard line. 4 men set. They move Orga again. Schwatenka looking left, looks right again, cuts across for Bells, but it's actually behind him, but I think he'll actually get the flag. So what I thought would have been just an incomplete, actually Daniel Katanka will get called for pass interference on Bells. So maybe just a push kind of got him out of the way. So that'll move it. Let's see where the ref spots it. Should be around the 43-yard line.
That's a pretty big play for the Titans. I mean, it didn't look like he was going to catch it. He kind of underthrew.
Well, that could have been the reason why maybe he didn't catch it, so he got pushed in the back. But for me, at least, it didn't look too egregious. So the Titans, they get a first down and 10. So maybe something happens here. Four-man set again. Takes the snap. Shmatenka looking right across. Has Orga looking for the sideline. Gets a block by Bell. Stays on his feet and just dragged out of bounds by Knight and Katonka. So that'll move the chains. And get out of bounds. You stop the clock. And man, these Hempfield Spartans, they don't have any quit in them either. So I would expect maybe, you know, they're not going to let the Titans go down and go get a score either.
Yeah, definitely. I could see them going for a shutout tonight.
I would take you up on that. I think it can happen. The way that they are playing, though, yes, absolutely, I think it could happen. But what do the Titans now have in their bag? They're on the sideline. And one thing I want to say is, man, Mike Brown really praises his guys a lot. I mean, he said from a 3-0 start against Latrobe last week, a 49-14 victory, I mean, they racked up 462 yards of offense. I mean, they could not stop playing. But they asked him, they said, you know, what do you want more, high-powered offense or a ball hawk defense? And Brown, his answer was honestly both. And it makes sense. I mean, look at his team right now. This offense can't be stopped, and this defense, while not making any really turnovers, they are not letting the Shaler Titans make any conversions here. So 4 men again set for the Titans. Takes the snap. Looks left. Deep for DiSabato on Tufts. Does he have? Oh my goodness, dropped again through the hands of DiSabato. So DiSabato not able to pull that one in. Would have been a first down and would have got to around the 10-yard line. And DiSabato got past Tufts but just wasn't able to haul it in. But hey, that's a good look though by Shmatenka.
Yeah, definitely. They just need to make that catch. And
that connection was what you said earlier needed to happen. So 2nd and 10 at the 32. 5:24 left in the half and in the quarter. 4 men again. They move Orga. Looking right for Bells. It's deep and overthrown to Bells. A little bit shorter, might have been in his hands. Katonka was in on the coverage. Maybe would have been able to get a hand up. We'll never know, though. It was overthrown by Shmatenka. So 3rd and 10. And Joey, you just said this offense needed to step up, and you know they can't keep having 4 and outs.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to convert on this one.
Yeah, if they don't convert here, I think it's going to be a long rest of the quarter for the Titan defense. This is the longest I believe we've seen the Titans offense out there, though. So again, same formation. But does Orga move? He does. Hempfield shifts. They see it. Shmatenka has to scramble. He's not going to be able to. Knight on the chase, gets it up and away. Just throws it out of bounds. And Knight has been so good on closing the gap and not letting Shmatenka get time to roll away. So an incomplete pass will bring up a 4th and 10. And Joey, it's looking like it's happening again right now. They're going to cause another 4 and out if this plays out into the Spartans' favor.
Yeah, definitely. They need to go to Joey DiSabato or Caden Orga right here.
And, you know, I might agree with you here. It all depends on how they line up in that 4-man set. I want to see where they put Brandon London because he may cut across the middle here. So let's see. They actually go trips left. DiSabato on the right. 4th and 10. Titans need something. Looking deep for DiSabato. Is it over his head? Oh my goodness, again off the fingertips for DiSabato. Not there again. And DiSabato, if it's on the money, would have been in for a Titans score or at least inside the 5.
I mean, you don't convert there, but you see Shaler's starting to get it. They're close.
The door has squeaked open against the Spartans. I'll give you that. I will say the door has not swung open and it is not unlocked yet, but it might just be a little bit cracked. But again, if this Spartan offense again goes down and scores, I don't think it matters how big of the door open, you know, the door swings open for this Titan offense. It's all about their defense, and can they get a stop going into half? They need it. 5 minutes. Phillips takes it, looks left, gets off to Lippman. Lippman stays on his feet, cuts across, still on his feet, and these Spartans just can't be brought down. So Lippman now, he'll get his next reception. He's had a pretty nice night tonight. Maz on the stop. They give it to Caesar. No, they don't. They give it across to Lippman again. And London in on the tackle. What I thought was going to Caesar, it almost wrapped up by Rispoli, and Phillips gets it off to Lippman. And the quick offense again. The Titans not set at all. Now Phillips looks right and has a man across. That's Tufts. Does he get across to the outside sideline? Fights a man, stays on his feet, takes a hit on the sideline, but not before getting all the way to the 10 or 11. So Ian Tufts, man, what a game he is having. He is burning these cornerbacks and safeties of the Titans. So the Spartans now, ball at the 10. Caesar now with the call. Stays on his feet, what a spin. Pass to beat London, but dragged down by London and Holland. And Joey, man, just when you think the Titans may have it figured out, the Spartans find another way to get past them.
I mean, the Spartans are just having a game.
They are. I mean, they're proving their worth right now, and Caesar gets the call again, but dragged down. And yeah, we said, hey, they're going to go for 49. They've been averaging it, and, you know, they might want to keep running that up. They're averaging 49 points a game, 6 against, and right now it's looking like a possible shutout. So Phillips now in the shotgun, takes it, looks left, on his feet again. Does he get it? Gets past Pearson. Man, is he in for his third again on the night. So Phillips gets the call again. So that'll be another 6 for the Spartans. So Phillips showing his worth on the ground with his legs and in the air, always going to Tufts or Lippman. And the Spartans now up 5 scores over the Titans. So Riley trying to go 5 for 5. Good snap, good hold, and way good from Josh Riley. So Josh Riley now 5 for 5, and he's perfect, and so are the Spartans as they go up 35-0 with 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining on the clock for the Titans. And Joey, what do the Titans do going into halftime? What is that locker room dealing with?
I mean, they just, now it's a controlment game. They don't want this to get it too far out of hand. They need to score and get a stop here.
Yeah, I think it's all about their respect and integrity here, because you can't let them, man, if you let them go up 5 scores again, it is going to be a tough next week of practices, and you don't play an opponent who's not any easier. Franklin Regional, the homecoming game next week. They've been 1-1 so far in the last couple of years against Franklin Regional. They lost 35-21, but then they won their first homecoming game, and I believe it was a 7-year period in 2019, 28-17 over the Panthers. And the Spartans looking to make this one out of reach with 3 minutes and 33. They get a stop here. They go into halftime looking as happy as can be. So Riley boots it up. Actually gets to DiSabato at the 10. Looking for something. Has a, nope, no, stays on his feet. Still down the sideline. Almost thought he got blocked in the gap. Gets all the way to around the 35 though. So Joey, 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And I don't know if the Titans really have a plan here to try and get into the end zone. I mean, the air game hasn't been good. And no offense to Smetanka, he's been pretty inaccurate. Hasn't been able to find the hands of his receivers yet. It could come at any time, though. And Signetti, while he has had a slow start, has managed to gain a good bit of yards still. Put a 4-man set. Move Orga. Smetanka. Pocket collapses, has to scramble. And not sure, I think he was going for Signetti. wouldn't have probably got back to even the line of scrimmage. So an incomplete pass by Smetanka. So a 2nd and 10. Smetanka just not having the greatest time back there. His own line is closing a lot.
Yeah, no, and Brennan Lund, he's getting double teamed right now.
And he's having a tough time. Shaler looking to prevail, at least go up, at least put up a score and go into halftime saying, hey, we got to fix a lot of things, but if anything we need to fix, it's, hey, we need to put some numbers up on the board. So now they run single man on DiSabato. Maybe looking for him. He looks, and yep, he gets the push. Does he get the first? He gets across for the first. So DiSabato now gets the first down. And what I would think here, if you're the Shaler Titans, is keep DiSabato in the single man set on the weak side. So let's see. They go trips left. Smetanka takes the snap, looks left, looks across the middle. Pocket's going to collapse, has to cut inside, has the legs, and just dives at around the 47-yard line. So smart keep by Smetanka. So good look by Smetanka.
Yeah, I mean, you can see both quarterbacks are mobile, and they can both run for the close to the first.
Yeah, Jake Phillips, though, he's phenomenal. I mean, he has been nothing short of impressive today. And, you know, we thought, hey, maybe he could just be, you know, the arm-slinging quarterback, or he could be the mobile quarterback. He's got both. I mean, he has looked great. That's why he's ranked, I believe, number 3rd in the WPIAL right now, at least for quarterbacks. He has looked phenomenal. So Shaler, clock winding down to the 2-minute mark. Smetanka takes the snap, looks right. Does the pocket hold? It doesn't. He's got to look somewhere else. Gets it across, picked by Ian Tufts. Does he get across? And he does. Man, so the Titans were looking for something on that drive. Smetanka, the pocket collapsed, looked left, tried to make something happen, and gets picked off by Tufts. And what a game Ian Tufts is having right now. And the frustration most likely setting in for the Titans. You started off so well on this drive, a good couple of first downs, make nothing of it. And the Spartans, if they go up here, what a blowout this will be over the Titans. So Phillips in the shotgun, has yet to be under center. Takes it, nope, looks right. He's gonna look deep, no, looks short across all the way to the 40. And Lippman now, so Lippman, I do want to say, he is listed as a 6'1" quarterback on the sheet here, but from the looks of it, he is a great wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what is that, his 3rd catch, I think?
Should be around his 3 or 5, I can't remember the number here. But his receptions have looked great. Same formation, Phillips looks right again, looks for the sideline again, but dropped. Looking for Lippman again, wasn't able to make anything happen. And man, even the wide receivers now look absolutely gigantic over the Shaler Titans. I mean, you have Volano in there, Lippman in there. I believe 22, Lucas Moore's in there, and Katanka's in there. Shaler, blitz, nope, we're gonna have a flag here.
I think it's an offside.
I think it will be an offsides. So let's see where they move it. So a little bit of a saving grace there for the Titans, as the Spartans look to capitalize there on a 3rd and 4. So it'll be a 3rd and 9 now from the 45. And looking for a stop, the Titans. Show blitz, you're slowly trying to get in. Phillips looking right. Does he have all the time in the world? Gets it across to Lippman, and Lippman all the way in for his 2nd on the night. What a take by Lippman, and what a throw by Jake Phillips. And man, the Spartans are prevailing right now against the Titans, showing no mercy. So now Riley will put it up for his 6th PAT in the half. And what can Riley do here? Can he go 6 for 6 on the night? Low snap, Do they go for two? No, takes a hit. Looked like a low snap, had to get it off, so that won't go for anything. But Riley will stay 5 for 5. So good on him at least, so he can stay perfect on the night. And now with 1:25, the Spartans lead the Titans 41-0 as we head into the second half, or excuse me, into halftime. And the Titans, I mean, they have, this has not been the game we expected from them, at least, Joey.
Yeah, no, definitely not. They look like a whole different team from last week.
Absolutely. And it just makes you wonder. I mean, Hempfield was a 6A team. You know, they did drop down to 5A. Are they too much, maybe?
Yeah, I would say, like, they're 6A size, like, as in, like, boys. Like, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
And their numbers on their football team look way larger than Shaler's.
Absolutely. And I think that's one thing is, you know, it's such a powerhouse of a team right now. I mean, they went 2-8 last year, but they, you know, they come back now looking to go 4-0 and on track to do so. So Riley again, it'll go to DiSabato at the 10. He'll take it, looking for something, looks for the sideline, looking to cut back inside, but won't get past the 25-yard line. So with a minute and 18, the Titans looking to go in halftime here, and man, do they have to regroup and think to themselves, what is going on here? That Spartans coming into Louis C. Marlig Stadium here and just putting on a show, but we are going to have a player down for the Titans.
We are the 2022 Shaler Area Girls Golf Team, and you're watching SATV. Go Titans!
And after the injury timeout, we head back onto the field with a minute and 18 left in the quarter. They hand it off to Signetti, looking for the sideline, and not able to get anything past the 28-yard line. And the player, by the way, coming off the field was Joe DiSabato, and it looked like a nasty ankle injury, Joey. So
yeah,
not great news for the Titans. And that's a guy where, you know, you're in a non-section game, and this doesn't necessarily count towards playoffs other than seeding purposes. You know, it's a really tough loss.
Yeah, no, you hate to see that. Down 41 in a meaningless game, pretty much.
And now Rispoli gets the call on the left. So Rispoli showing off his legs, getting all the way to what looked like the 30. They'll mark him at the 31.
I think we're going to see a little bit more of this now that Joe DiSabato's out.
Yeah, I think you really just maybe rely on the run game here. I don't think you really have much of a... other than, I mean, on your receiving core, you do lose what I think, in my opinion, is your best wide receiver. It's a tough draw for the Titans, but they got to make it work. With 13 seconds here, as we head into half, Spatanka takes a spin, has to cut back across, just dumps it off into the Hempfield bench. So what a tough half this was for the Titans. Not the game we thought this was, but what an impeccable half for the Spartans. I mean, they have looked nothing but perfect tonight.
Yeah, that first fumble was that was their only mistake, I think.
It was their only mistake, and we thought, hey, maybe that's where the Titans really get kick-started there, but not able to make anything happen since that drive. We said they needed a score, not able to make it happen. So down 41, 6 seconds remaining. They give it to Signetti, and just looking for something, and he'll just take the knee. And that should expire the clock. So as we head into halftime, the Hempfield Spartans lead the Shaler Area Titans 41-0. So enjoy as the Shaler Area Band takes the field. And welcome back to second half action in tonight's game. Hope you enjoyed that performance by the Shaler Area Band. Now back in the booth, John Irwine, Joey Miller, and joining us now for the second half, we have Mark Povich. Mark, thanks for joining us here in the second half.
No problem. It is a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be here and be able to commentate on the Shaler Area Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, a young guy coming in here, you know, how did the first half, we'll talk about the first half, how did it look for the Titans?
Compared to the Plum game, they definitely did not come out with as much energy, but hopefully in the second half they can pick it back up and definitely score a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. Joey, what did you see in that first half?
No, I didn't see the same decent defense that we saw against Plum. I mean, they just couldn't stop Hempfield.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that Hempfield did real well was that was 4 and outs. Huge. Honestly, the name of the game right now for the Spartans was get 4 and out, 4 and out, 4 and out. So now the Shaler Titans receive, and with Joe DiSabato out with his injury, TJ Bells will now be taking the kick returns with Caden Orga. So Riley, he's been perfect on the night so far in PATs. Didn't get to attempt the 6th. He'll boot it up. It'll be short. And it'll fall at around the 16, 17-yard line. So good spots by Riley. Again, a little move at 15. But again, it's still tough field position without Joey DiSabato. Guys, where do they look here? You know, we saw a couple drives, though. They did start out with predominantly running.
I mean, I think you can still look at Caden Orga and Brandon London. I mean, those guys are both pretty good players.
Yeah, Brendan London, he's been pretty quiet tonight. I actually don't think he has a catch yet this game.
No, I think he has one.
Oh, excuse me, yes, he does have one, but last game he was a huge figure. So you're going to try and make something happen here, and look at this formation from the Titans.
I think this is that run offense.
They are going to go into the run, and they get them to jump. Wow. So an early mistake by Anthony Villano. That'll jump off sides, obviously, for the Spartans, and that'll move the ball for the Titans. So Smetanka on the hard step gets Villano to jump. Now the game, by most would say on the score, most likely out of reach. The Titans somehow go into halftime and come out with something different to say. They give it off to Signetti, has the outside, gets the block from Tortorella, cuts back, and he'll get the first. So Signetti getting to the first down at the 46. So now Signetti looking to try and make his name more prevalent tonight. Just coming off his stellar performance last week, has been quiet tonight. So now the Titans line up in the 4-man. Smetanka looks right, has a man, gets all the way and spun at around the 48-yard line. That'll be Matt Supa. So Supa now in the wide receiving core.
I think that might be his first catch all year.
It might be. He's been in a couple times on defense, obviously, and offense hasn't had to really sub in that much, but he's in, maybe trying to make some waves now, trying to make something happen, the 5'10 senior. So same formation. They move Supa. Smetanka looking. Pocket collapses and swamped by a bunch of Spartans. Villano predominantly in on that one, but not also forgotten about. Jaden Hamilton also in on that one. And man, this O-line is looking pretty tough right now for the Titans.
Yeah, definitely, with this big defensive line from Hempfield.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, if this is the O-line of the Titans right now, what are you saying to yourselves against this huge D-line of the Hempfield Spartans?
Well, I say that I feel like we have a strong enough offense that we could, if we can just hold them off and
oh, ball's out. Sorry to cut you off, Mark.
No, you were.
And I think Spoli fumbled it, and he did. So the Spartans take over. Spoli on that carry got around to the 44. But I think I know what you're trying to say is, you know, you have strong enough offense. That O-line, if it can hold, can make a play. It almost looked like they did. So Spoli now fumbles it. and not where you wanted it all on your opening drive. So the Spartans, do we see a switch? I mean, guys, do they switch out Phillips and everybody? Do they keep him in?
Oh, they're going to keep him in.
They are going to keep him in. So no stop right now, at least. The clock is running. Phillips takes it, hands off to Caesar. Caesar with a burst of speed. The sideline, looks for the gap, and look at him go. Cuts back inside, but brought down by a bunch of Titans inside the 20. And what a take by Caesar. The burst of acceleration, the speed, and to get the first down and more. So the Hempfield Spartans looking to put up another score on the board. They give it back to Caesar. Cuts back inside, but won't get anywhere.
Caesar, the ball carrier.
And I don't even think the chains were set for that take. I think they were about 5 yards back.
Yeah.
So
hurry up.
a 2nd and 10 at the 17. And Tufts on the inside, and a lot of guys are substituted for the Titans. You're going to see a lot of starters come out here down 41. Don't expect a lot of starters to be out there for them. Phillips takes it, looks left, pocket collapses, gives it to Caesar, has the inside, cuts back inside, and brought down again by a bunch of Titans.
Phillips pass to Caesar.
And man, we need to talk about what Jake Phillips is doing tonight. He has stolen the show here at Lucy Martin Stadium. I mean, what a player he has been tonight. His running game has been phenomenal, and I mean, we questioned the arm game earlier, Joey, but man, he proved us wrong.
Yeah, he did. I mean, geez, he has to be over 200 yards already.
I believe, yeah, to Tufts and Lippman alone should be, and has 3 touchdowns on his legs.
I know, yeah, they've been having big plays passing and now running.
Absolutely. So now they go again. Takes the snap in the shotgun, looks right. Runs off to the right, looking for somebody, has him. Does he get in? And they're going to call him in for the touchdown. So another score by the Spartans. Katonka on it again. So that'll get Katonka's name called again. And Phillips, man, just said it. What a game he's had. And that O-line is helping him out so much. So Riley to go 6 for 6. And we should talk about that O-line. Man, Phillips has almost 5 seconds each time to really scan the entire field.
Oh, I know. You could probably wait even longer than that.
He could look left for 3 seconds, look right for 3 seconds, and go back and look left and have no problems whatsoever. So Riley gets it. It's up. And he makes it through. So he's 6 for 6 on the night. Riley again having a great kicking performance. And the Spartans go up 48-0 over the Shaler area Titans with 7:48 remaining in the third quarter. And guys, we really need to talk about how we thought this game was going to be a heck of a lot closer and just not panning out the way at all we thought it would be. I mean, what happened to the Shaler area Titans? You know, what did you say to yourselves in halftime?
I mean, at this point, you just need to score. You need to get some points up. You need to build some confidence for next week. It's all about next week now.
True. They do play Franklin Regional at homecoming on Saturday in the afternoon. Those are always the tough games in the heat. It's always so hot here at Lucy Martin Stadium. And Franklin Regional obviously trying to win after taking that homecoming loss against the Titans 3 years ago. But yeah, clearing the heads, Joey, like you said, you got to reset. You got to forget about it. And we've talked before earlier in the first half. This is a non-conference. Doesn't really count towards your playoffs other than seeding purposes or making it into playoffs. And as Riley boots this one off, it'll go deep enough to Bells. Looking for something up the middle. Won't get anything. Gets to the 21, and Joey, good point out there. Joe DiSabato is out on the sideline. He's on crutches, undressed, and it looks like there's a wrap around his knee area. So I think it was a knee injury, not an ankle injury like we had said. But a tough break for the Titans. You lose him for the homecoming game, and depending on how severe that injury may be, you may lose him for weeks after that. They bring in Razzo. Spatanka looks deep. Tosses it up. and over the head, we are going to have a flag. If it is offensive pass interference, that's not going to be good for the Titans. Hoping it's not. If you are the Titans, you got to look for anything cleaner than that. Was looking for
Brendan London.
yeah, it was Brendan London.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the number, and it was London, and I think he did push off. So not the smartest move there by London to push off when the ball was way over your head. So that'll move them back. So let's see where the referee takes them. All the way to the 5, I think.
Talking about that push off, I think the wide receivers for Shaler, they need to get some more distance from the Hempfield's defense.
They have struggled all night. They have struggled a lot all night to get that distance and separation. And on the opposite side of things, Hempfield hasn't had any problems. So now 4-man set. Schmatenka in the shotgun. Takes it. Looks right. Looks for Orga across. Has him at the 30, the 40. Look at the legs of Orga at the 50. Does he get caught? All the way to the 30. Can he get in? And he'll be in for a Titan touchdown. What a throw. And a haul in by Kaden Orga. And a turnaround by the Shaler area Titans. So Orga now on the board. His first score of the night, Schmatenka's first score, and the Shaler Titans' first score of the night. So what a take-in. It was a great call.
I was just about to mention of our offensive linemen, we held them off for an extra second to give our quarterback, Keegan, an extra second to find the wide receiver. He found him, and they got the touchdown from it.
Absolutely right, Mark. When he has the time in the pocket, Schmatenka gets his throws on point. Has had a lot of struggles all night with that pocket collapsing, but not there, and he'll find Orga for the 95-yard touchdown?
Yeah, 95.
95-yard touchdown. And Douglas, now his first PAT of the night, he'll get it through. So now the Titans put up a score down 41, and the score is 48-7 in favor of the Spartans with 6:48 remaining. And guys, you know, I'm not going to say by any means this is going to be a comeback victory yet, but you know, you have 18 minutes left on the clock to score 4. How many touchdowns is that? About 5 straight touchdowns. It's a tough draw.
I think it's a running clock too as well, right?
It is a running clock.
And hopefully this touchdown gives the Titans the burst energy they need to keep their heads up in this game.
Absolutely, and a lot of young guys are out there right now. You see a lot of subs in, and with guys like DiSabato out, probably a lot of guys taking rests. I would imagine Signetti won't get as many snaps. Razzo's been out there. You know, what do the Titans do with almost not JV-esque a team out there, but a lot of young guys inexperienced on varsity? Now Douglas looking for the kickoff. Do they onside kick here?
I don't think they do.
No, I would hope.
No.
I would, if anything, if it's anything like that Hampton one, maybe. So Gregory back there, a good boot. So let's see. Katonka takes it, looking for the right, has the speed. Look at the burst of speed to the sideline and gets pushed out around the 35-yard line. So Katonka with a good take back, and the Titan defense takes the field with 6:42 remaining. Now guys, what does the Titan defense do here? I mean, you're down 41 points. I mean, it's all about getting the respect here and trying to keep it close, but I mean, what do you do? This offense has been so dominant all night.
Yeah, they need to build some confidence here. They need to get a stop, actually.
And they needed to have one all night. We've been saying it all night, but it actually needs to happen here. So you are going to have a couple of subs now. I believe Dominic DeTruff is now in, or DeTruff. And now he gives it off and brought down by a bunch of Titans. We're going to have a flag. So a lot of subs for the Spartans. It makes sense after you went up your next touchdown, sub your guys out. So DeTruff handed it off to Ethan Zontek, the 5'9 sophomore. Excuse me, 5'10. But it will be holding. So now let's see. DeTruff in the shotgun, takes the snap, almost bobbles it, but only gets to around the 28-yard line. That was Zontek again. Now coming off with looks to be like a lower shoulder injury is Tristan Holland. A lot of guys come off for the Titans, actually. Spoli as well. And a lot of time taken up. See, you don't even see the quick now hurry-up offense with all these young guys in. They're going to let them take their time and figure out this defense of the Shaler area Titans.
Yeah, I definitely don't think they're going to give him any time.
Absolutely not.
Any time for comeback.
So let's see. Now the Truff takes it, but he's brought down immediately by a lot of Titans. So good wrap up there by the young Titans in. So that should be around a 3rd and 20 or 17 in between there. Depends on where he got dragged down. And guys, I mean, real quickly, I mean, let's really talk over how the first half went. The first opening drive, the Spartans take the ball, they get to around the 30-yard line, and immediately they fumble, and the Titans took over. From there, it was all downhill.
Yeah, I mean, Shaler got that 4 and out, and then Hempfield went down and scored.
Yeah, I think it was 4 and out.
Oh, yeah.
4 and out.
And then Hempfield scored.
And then Hempfield went down and figured out how to play against the defense. So now the Truth, deep launch. Goodness, good throw. Just over the head, though, of Owen Buchholz. So now that will be a 4th and 18 for the Spartans. And like you said, Joey, yeah, I mean, it was 4 and out. We thought it was going to be real even, but just nothing able to happen for the Titans, and the Spartans took over from there. They went in the driver's seat and kept driving. So now they go to punt formation.
I think they're going to try a fake. Never mind.
No, that would be pretty ambitious, I would say. Is the right word. That was very ambitious.
Yeah, no, I saw Anthony Vannoli or
Villano.
Yeah, I saw him roll out. I thought he was going to be a wide receiver.
Anytime you see Anthony Villano, the 6'3", 230 senior, you think to yourself, well, there's a chance that he could just run through your whole team, but not right there. I think they're just going to let the Titans take the field and do what they need to do, close it out. And for the Titans, you know, we just said they had a lot of guys out there on defense that are young, but most of starting offense is still out there. I mean, Orga, Tortorella, London. I mean, they are mostly still out there, and I believe the O-line stayed the same.
Well, yeah, I think Shaler should stay the same for a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Tortorella gets the call. And we haven't really said his name all night on the offensive side of things, and I think it's kind of disappointing because when he got the call last game against Plum, he did very well. I mean, he found a lot of good gains, a lot of good conversions, and I think he did a great job, and I think he's a guy where if Luke Sinetti's come out for a couple of plays, I think you put Tortorella in, you don't have a problem there. So a little bit disappointing that he's only really getting his time now. But the Titans at the 50. They give it to him again. Look at the patience from Tortorella. Look at the feed. Look at the speed. So now Tortorella now at the 33-yard line. Man, the big man's got speed.
Yeah, no, that was a great run. I mean, he took his time. He was patient, looked and saw the gap, and then took it.
Yeah, I thought he was actually stopped at around the first down marker, and then somehow he got through with all that patience, and he managed to get all the way for a first down inside the 35, or excuse me, inside the 35, excuse me. So he gets it again, cuts to the right, still on his feet. Man, he just needs around 6 Spartans to bring him down. There's a lot of Spartans to bring him down right now. And why not? So let's see. I think they're going to make their subs as Orga, London, and Tortorella will come out. So now a lot of young guys now in for the Titans. Razzo to the right. He can do damage.
Yeah.
We saw what he did against Butler.
I'd say Shaler has a pretty good running back core.
Absolutely. And look at him go, and Razzo still going. Did he get the first? I think he did. And yeah, their core is going to be good. I think you have Razzo. Again, you have the younger brother of Luke Signetti. He's coming up soon. I believe he's a freshman right now. Trevor Signetti, number 35. He's already 5'10", it says on the sheet. I mean, man, if he grows to be any bigger in his next 4 years, he could be a monster in the running back game. And Shaler's always had good running backs, in my opinion. I mean, Jake Miller, you go back to him, you go back to even his younger brother, Josh Miller. I mean, those guys were the heart and soul of that running core. And now the Titans in the 4-man. They look right. Shmatanka dumps it off. And, oh my goodness, Supa couldn't find it. So Supa thought it would have been more to his, I guess, right or in front of him, but to his left or behind him was the throw. Couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think that's just like comes with the inexperience together.
Yeah, and that was, you brought that up really well, where that DiSabato and Shmatanka connection, that's like the strongest one we usually go over, where that was the one they needed tonight. And wasn't able to make it happen. DiSabato out now with an injury, obviously. Titans in the 4-man. Shmatanka has to scramble. Knight on the chase. Dumps it off. Just, kind of just out of reach, you know, more or less, from TJ Bells. So now, guys, as we hit the 18-second mark, the running clock is instilled. We'll continue here. So what are the Titans now into the fourth quarter? I mean, you're playing for respect and integrity. I mean, what do you do there? I mean, if you're playing for your, respect, I mean, how do you go into it? Now with Shmatanka taking the snap, looking across, and dropped by Bells. Would have been a first down and more, couldn't haul it in. So now the Titans, that will actually close out the quarter, so the Spartans leading the Titans 48-7 as we head into the fourth quarter of play.
We're the 2022 Shaler girls tennis team, and you're watching SATV.
And welcome back to fourth quarter coverage of tonight's game. And as you can see on the sideline, DiSabato there with the crutches. And, just a sad sight to see if you're a Titan. That's going to cause a little bit of ripples and a couple of shockwaves through your offense and defense. And how do you figure out who replaces him for the next couple of weeks? Now the Titans are Spoli taking snaps. He'll take the ball. He'll get he'll get bounced off, but he should have got around a gain of 4.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a lot of younger classmen now with Shmatanka out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's no reason to keep any of those guys like Shmatanka, Tortorella, any of those guys in right now. You don't really have a chance to win this game. Not to be negative, but you got to at least get some guys some time. So let's see. Now again, the Truth takes it, gives it off, and what a run here. Still on his feet to the 40. What a take by Zontek. Goodness me. Ethan Zontek, the sophomore. He has looked impressive so far. Man, we kind of said it at halftime. We weren't really able to get it over the air at first, but, the discipline by the Hempfield Spartans is unbelievable, Joey.
Yeah, no, you see them run it on and off the field, and then even at halftime, they had a little talk at center field, and then they sprinted
immediately
to the
at halftime. They went straight into a huddle at the 50, and they sprinted off in the locker room. I mean, that discipline by Mike's Brown team is unbelievable. Now, Zontak stopped at the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that discipline, it's obviously worked out. I mean, these guys, and you can kind of see it in how they play where, the quarterbacks, Jake Phillips and Dominic DeTruff, I mean, you see, they have the same snap hold, they have everything, their same etiquette, everything, the cadence, it is exactly the same. So I think it stems from there where, we're going to play to perfection and excellence, and they're showing that tonight. So trips left, pitches it off. Gets there, and a stiff arm out of bounds, but not before also getting wrapped up at the same time. Good take there by Buchholz, but number 32, Gabe Simic on the tackle. So now under 10 here at the 9:30 mark. Spartans taking their good time. And man, they are going to have a very nice week going into their next game. Again, should be non-conference. Titans next week, again, homecoming against Franklin Regional. They're going to have a lot to do in this next week to fix. So now they hand it off again. Zontak, look at the speed from him. He is a monster right now.
Oh,
is he
not
still
down?
on his feet?
I think he might have landed his knee on the Shaler
I think
defender.
he did. Originally, it looked like he was there and he was down, but getting up and getting there. So he'll keep moving, and Zontak, the speed. So what a take by him. He'll help the Spartans keep taking it. So again, Zontek gets the call. Cuts up left. Looking for the gap. Still on his feet. Man, he is so tough to bring down. Him and Caesar alone.
I do find it very impressive as number 26 on their team, a running back, to be able to stay on his feet after taking so many hits.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we said that a lot about Luke Signetti.
I think he's hurt.
Is he actually hurt?
Yeah, I think he might be.
Let's see. I think he did maybe come up. So we just were praising him about how he could bounce off defenders, but now he comes up with an injury. So we'll head to an injury timeout. And welcome back after the injury timeout. Again, we were just talking about how Zontek was doing so well, but he was able to walk off his own power onto the sideline. But real quick, yeah, the Hempfield Spartans, they will play the Penn Trafford Warriors next week. Penn Trafford with a win over Cannon McMillan, a loss to McKeesport, and a win over Woodland Hills impressive. I think losing to Bell Vernon, though, right now. So it'll be an interesting test next week. Looking for the same result, though. So now wrapped up by a Titan, the new running back in for the Spartans. Got to get his number. I believe that's 44. So tackled by D-Moore. And I believe it was Rogan Catcher. And yeah, these teams, guys, they played 6 times between 2006 and 2011. Shaler won all 6. The last time they played, Shaler won 34-13, but a different story tonight. I mean, what has changed since? I mean, Hempfield was obviously a 6A powerhouse. They come down to 5A. You know, just such a big difference. In Shaler, you know, what do you change going into the next couple of games here?
You know, I think you just gotta find the rhythm in the offense. You need to make the wide receivers need to make those catches that could lead to big plays.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like you need to be able to have big plays. And again, Hempfield played really good tonight, but a lot of times when they got beat was those big plays by Ian Truffs, Gino Caesar, Lippman, everything.
Yeah, no, Hempfield did a really good job of throwing the ball and reading it off the reads and getting that extra yard.
Absolutely. So now the Truth takes a hit. He'll get up fine. But yeah, the quarterbacks so far have done very well in their reads. They looked very well. Jake Phillips, some of the best awareness I've seen in a long time in the Whitfield. He looked spectacular.
He's definitely one of the best quarterbacks that I've seen all year.
Yeah, you know, we thought, you know, Chpatenka would kind of steal the show maybe tonight, but man, Jake Phillips, what a name. You're going to hear about him for a long time coming up here. So now Riley looking here for the boot. It'll be about a 42-yard kick. Can he get it? Good snap, good hold. Does the line drive get there? No good, off to the left. Wow, so Josh Riley almost makes that 42-yard boot, but that'll keep things now still at 48-7. The Spartans lead the Titans with 6:15 remaining in the quarter.
Talk about a kick, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he had the distance.
He had the boot to get it there. Wasn't very high, but man, that distance was good. So let's see now. The Titans come out. Rispoli. He'll be back there. They hand it off, but brought down by a ton of Spartans.
Mitch, doesn't that look like a horse collar to you?
It depends. I mean,
Hey, the ball carrier.
it all depends on where you grab. I think the horse collar isn't as called as much anymore, egregiously at least. They kind of let it slide sometimes now, so it all depends. And I think they're trying not to throw flags here with
Yeah.
a running clock.
Yeah.
So let's see, a 4-man set for the Titans. Spoli looks across, gets it there, cuts inside, takes a huge hit. Good catch there by number 20 of the Titans, Caleb Jockle.
Stepping with the tackle.
So guys, this game didn't really go to plan for the Titans. You know, this was their game of the week, their time to really shine here. Everybody was here to watch, and it just kind of, it didn't work out. As a Shaler Titan, you know, man, what do you do going into tomorrow? I mean, first practice, you know, I mean, the JV plays tomorrow. You come into practice on Monday, right? What do you say to yourself?
I mean, they wake up at 8 in the morning and then they watch film, so they really need to take notes on what they did wrong tonight.
Yeah, the film session's going to be a good one. I think Jim Ryan and John Tortorella are going to have a field day with it. But, you know, they're going to definitely be like, guys, this was not what we needed at all. This was not a good start. Shaler now will head to 2-2, and the Spartans will go to 4-0 since the first time since 1971, so 50 years.
This is an exciting game, right?
So now quad receiver set. Spoli takes it, looks across, dumps it off, almost caught it one-handed, would have been able to pull it in, Isaac McKay. And man, honestly, Isaac McKay, he was at Butler, by the way, against Butler. He had that huge hit on the kickoff return. He kind of made some waves around Shaler area.
Yeah, definitely. For being a little kid, he was in there on the kick return.
Yeah, you know, now in at running back, it seems, trying to make something happen here for the Titans. So another 4-man set. Rispoli looking deep, floats it up. Is it there? Just over the head. Looking for number 40 of the Titans, Ryan Peterson, the sophomore. And that's kind of been the story of the wide receiving passing game all night, just throws not being able to get there.
Yeah, they've been close, but hey, just can't catch them.
Yeah, you can't make everyone happen. So under 3:30 remaining in the game. So another 4-man. Titans keep the formation. Rispoli scrambles, dumps it across, and at the 45. So now he hit the 3-minute mark here. And guys, let's just talk about this game. You know, Joey and Mark, what did you kind of see going into the first quarter of this game that you thought really would have made a difference?
I think if Shaler would have got the stops at the beginning, they would have been fine, but they just couldn't stop them and they couldn't score, which was a double whammy.
Yeah.
To disaster.
Yeah, Mark, I mean, did you see anything out there that really caused the havoc and chaos for the Titans? And McKay takes it to the 45.
Oh, he's passing to McKay.
I mean, it is hard to say. You know, Mark, I can understand that you may not be able to get anything off. It is hard to bring up stuff when there wasn't a lot for the Titans to really get going there. I mean, where does it start? Does the defense or offense? You know, what did you think would have been more of a dominant powerhouse for the Titans tonight? What did you expect?
I expected the offense to be more of a powerhouse from the previous Plum game, since we had such a strong offense then. Maybe it could carry on to this game.
Yeah, that would have been ideal for the Titans to carry off. But Joe Rispoli on that throw gets the pass interference to the 10-yard line, got it to Peterson. And yeah, Mark, you're actually right. You score 47. You would think going into this game you can continue the momentum, just not able to make it happen.
I also realized in this in the third quarter that our offensive linemen were giving our quarterbacks more time, and a lot of our long throws have been overthrown. So maybe if the offensive lineman could give him an extra second, he could scan it and read it, and hopefully be able to connect the passes better.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. The offensive line looked a lot better in the third quarter. I think they kind of fixed a couple of things. But, yeah, the throws, Swiatenka had a tough time today getting those throws there. But the good thing was a lot of them were overthrown. So it's not like he's coming up short and, doesn't have the arm to get it there. It's just, 5 feet, out of reach. Kate Norga should have had a touchdown. DiSabato probably should have had a touchdown. So now McKay gets it, cuts inside, and gets to the 25-yard line. So Versa gets it off. And we hit the 1 minute mark here in the game. So, guys, we can kind of just start to close it out here. So, guys, from this game, Joey, Mark, what did you see that made the difference for Hempfield or for Shaler? I mean, really, what was the big conundrum here?
I think the big thing was Hempfield played great on both sides of the ball. They played great on defense, getting a ton of stops, and then their offense was even better, getting a lot of scores.
Yeah, and I think one guy we can talk about, me and you, Joey, right now is Jake Phillips.
Yeah, Jake Phillips. He did great. I mean, he had 3 rushing touchdowns.
And as you say that, look at the Spartans going down. Is this going to be all the way to the end zone? It will be. So the Spartans now, in under 30 seconds, take it all the way down the field into the end zone. As we were saying that, Aiden Stinbeiser able to get it down in there. So we're just talking about Jake Phillips, how the game he has. Man, everybody for the Spartans have a good game. We actually do have a flag on the field, but go back to what you were saying, Joey, about Jake Phillips.
Yeah, he had 3 rushing touchdowns, I believe.
He had 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing, 3 passing maybe.
I mean, that just shows how well-rounded he is. He can do everything.
And I think it shows how well-rounded the Hempfield Spartans are.
Yeah.
I mean, they look great. Now, if you're the Titans, I mean, what are you saying to yourself? I mean, and no offense, you get blown out at home in front of everybody. Everybody was hyped for this game. You got the game of the week. I mean, what do you do?
It was definitely a missed opportunity by Shaler. I mean, not getting the win on the Steelers game day. And, but, you got to take this loss. You got to look at what you're doing wrong for next week. Because this isn't a section game, so it doesn't really matter that much. But, I mean, it's going to help them in advance.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot. And I think the thing is, the Titans, I said this last week, this is a game where they need to figure out if they could compete with the highest level yet. And I don't think they're there just yet, but I don't think they're in a bad place to be.
Yeah, no.
I don't think they are going to go into this weekend and say, man, we aren't going to make playoffs.
Yeah, no, I will say Hempfield's size really helped them. They have their lines just great on both sides. And if you look at how many players Shaler has on a home game and how many people Hempfield has, it's just...
Yeah, especially. And with that, as you say that now, that will end things here at Lucy Martin Stadium. The Hempfield Spartans beat the Shaler Titans 48-7. We'll do the post game up here, though, as the teams go to shake hands. So, from this game, what's the overall you see here? Hempfield, as you head into Penn Trafford next week, I think just do the same thing. I mean, you're scoring, 48 points. They're averaging literally 49 points a game.
Yeah, no, I mean, really liked how they did that hurry-up offense and got a ton of scores off of it, and it just worked really well for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Titans, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say reset, but clear the heads.
Yeah, you just need to figure out what happened here and then just adjust to it for next week. Yeah,
you definitely got to have it happen. For the Hempfield Spartans, you go 4-0 for the first time since 1971 in 50 years. For the Shaler area Titans, you go 2-2 for the second time in 2 years. So, Mark, I mean, do you have anything for both of these teams?
Well, I was going to say for Hempfield, their running back, the number 26, Zontak, he unfortunately did seem like he got hurt, but hopefully he seemed like a strong part of their team and was able to carry a lot of yards to them. So
he was. Him and Geno Caesar looked really good out there tonight. Everybody looked great. Ian Tufts, everybody for the Spartans looked great. But for the Titans, they got to reset as they host next week homecoming against Franklin Regional. So join us here at Lewis C. Martin Stadium for next week's game. That was John Irwine, Joey Miller, and Mark Povich here for your SATV broadcast of tonight's game. Have a good night, Shaler area.